Look over here to our Mariners segment, and I mean, tell me, when I texted you about this, or even when the news broke, how surprised we were. Probably very little.
Minimal.
As
More
I'm
excited.
sure, yeah, as I'm sure everyone could have guessed, and as sure as you've seen, Julio Rodriguez was named the AL Rookie of the Year. The 21-year-old led Major League rookies in homers, B-WAR, F-WAR. I know we went over this last week, but we're going to go over it again just so we can stick this point. A 509 slugging percentage, an 853 OPS, WRC plus of 146, 260 total bases. That's all what he led Major League rookies in. So there's a mouthful there, and that's what he led the entirety of the young class of baseball in, ranking second in runs, third in hits, second in RBI, second in extra base hits, and second in stolen bases. Julio becomes the fifth Mariners player to win the Rookie of the Year award, joining Alvin Davis, Mr. Mariner, Kazuhiro Sasaki, Ichiro Suzuki, and Kyle Lewis. The Kyle Lewis name is a sore subject for me. We'll get to that later. So in addition to the Baseball Writers of America Association American League Rookie of the Year award, which is basically just the AL Rookie of the Year award, the official one, Julio was named a Silver Slugger, Baseball America's Major League Rookie of the Year, Sporting News AL Rookie of the Year, and the Players' Choice Awards AL Outstanding Rookie of the Year. Again, just as the bottom text here on our little banner says, who's surprised? You look at all of these nominations, being named to the All-Star team, the only rookie to do so this past season, becoming the fourth player age 21 and younger to win Rookie of the Year and win a Silver Slugger and be an All-Star. So Rookie of the Year, All-Star, Silver Slugger, outside of Fernando Valenzuela, infielder Albert Pujols. That Pujols guy is pretty good. And Mike Trout, also pretty good. Becoming the first player with 25-plus homers and 25-plus stolen bases in his debut season, as well as the fastest person to do that. I mean, was there any doubt? I mean, you got to see him play for a good amount throughout the season, became a lot of people's fans' favorite, including a shout-out to my friend Matt, wherever he is out there. Well, I don't know. What's your take? Obviously, this is not something that we were surprised about, but any sort of final words or thoughts on it, now that it's officially official. Julio went back actually to the Dominican Republic and had this big welcome. I'm sure you've seen it. So I don't know, just your thoughts on it as someone who was also there to enjoy that incredible first year for Julio.
Yeah, I think it's well deserved. I think that he definitely joined a fan in me as well. And I feel lucky that our coverage started in his rookie season, because now we just get to see him grow from here. So yeah, very well deserved. And that was very heartwarming to see him go home and celebrate in the DR with all of his friends and family and all the fans that he has there too. So yeah.
It's just, again, to put it in perspective that his birthday is in December, so maybe you should send him something. Just being a 21-year-old, to have the impact that he did, to, at least by WAR and by all those metrics, the most valuable player on this team. I think he actually had a MVP vote. I think he was for the seventh place in MVP voting or something along that line. Just incredible to think about, and had some of those issues injury-wise towards the end of the year. But to his point, I don't think he's played that much baseball in his life over the course of a season yet. So just making sure. It was interesting with the end of the year interviews to hear from Jerry Dipoto, Justin Hollander, Scott Service, just say, go be a kid, go be 21, take some time off of baseball. But I'm sure he's not taking too much time. He'll celebrate, as he's in the DR with his girlfriend Jordan Haitama, being celebrated and all that. But I'm sure at some point he'll get back to it. And it's you've got him locked up for a long, long time, which is a very, very good thing. So it was also interesting when this was officially announced. There was a presser following that And Mariners general manager Justin Hollander actually said that he missed the official Rookie of the Year award announcement because he was on the phone working on a potential trade. So that's a perfect segue. We'll hold the segue, I guess, for a minute and look at some of the roster moves. With the Rule 5 draft coming up, the Mariners had to make some roster adjustments on the 15th. Prelander Baroa, Isaiah Campbell, Jonathan Clase, and Cade Marlowe will all named to the 40-man roster, filling it up. Then we get to the trades here. After some other stuff, some guys were released, and so to make room, on November 16th, the Mariners acquired former All-Star Teoscar Hernandez in a trade from the Blue Jays. Seattle receiving the outstar right fielder, former Silver Slugger. And Toronto receives relief pitcher Eric Swanson and left-handed pitcher Adam Mako, who is a pitching prospect actually from Slovakia. So to look at that, this is a big deal in and of its own. Because I know that the big discussion that we've been talking about with the Mariners this offseason has been adding more offense, adding more of an impact bat, and a middle-of-the-order guy, and that's exactly what Teoscar is. He's a great hitter. I'm not going to say he's a perfect hitter because he's had some issues with strikeouts, could keep his eye out a little bit more and get some more walks, but this is an impact addition. It sucks to lose a guy like Swanson, who had some great numbers this past year. I know some people wanted him used more down the stretch and in the playoffs. Mako, it sucks to lose a guy that was, I believe, is a top 25 prospect. But to that point, at some point when you want to become a contender, you want to really push yourself over the edge, you're going to need to lose some young talent, and you're going to have to compromise. This move also had some comments about if might signal the departure of Mitch Haniger. I know that Dipoto and Hollander have said that they're in healthy discussions with him, and both sides want to get a deal done. And in the presser about Teoscar, they said that he can play either corner, which is very interesting considering the kind of logjam, in a sense, that you have in left field. But there was a report that came out today that the Dodgers and the Angels are interested in Haniger as well. So it's interesting, but to get a guy like Hernandez is a win. I know that there's concern over the fact that he's only under club control this year, but Jerry Dipoto said that if all things go well, they're gonna extend him. It's a big deal. That's a big deal. I know that's something that you've seen it, Bell. I've said it. I said it over the past year. Anybody that read the articles knows that something that I wanted was more offensive consistency, and this is the guy that's going to help that. You want to be able to look at this lineup and minimize the guys who are, higher likely to get out than get on base. You want to be able to maximize that every day. You don't want to see a lineup and say, well, he's not going to do well. He's not going to do well, So this is a great addition. Again, he's got a great bat. He's not great defensively. I'm not going to say he is. But the bat is what you were looking for. The offense is the key component. The very next day, the team traded outfielder Kyle Lewis to the Arizona Diamondbacks in exchange for Cooper Hummel. You can see there probably my favorite photo of Lewis, captured by Matt Bermudez. It's unfortunate sort of look here because, when it was hitting it was the goodbye. You can see the goodbye baseball screen on there, but now it seems goodbye as he's leaving. It's very disappointing. So the Mariners receive outfielder/catcher Cooper Hummel. Yes, outfielder/catcher. A little bit of an odd combination. Hummel is a 27-year-old. He appeared in 66 games with the Diamondbacks during the 2022 season, batting 176 with 20 runs, 8 doubles, 3 triples, 3 homers, 17 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases. He's 5'10", 198 pounds, out of Portland. So I know that he talked about growing up as a Mariners fan, so I guess that's cool. He appeared defensively in 18 games as a catcher, in left field 21 games, and in right field only 2 games. He also played as the DH in 16 games, over 6 minor league seasons with the Brewers, and a few with the Diamondbacks. He holds a career .397 on base percentage over 443 games with 256 runs, 78 doubles, 15 triples, 48 homers, 219 RBIs, 20 stolen bases, and 277 walks. So, we know about Kyle Lewis. He's a guy that has incredible talent. They're actually both 27. He only appeared in 18 games this past year with the Mariners, won the 2020 Rookie of the Year. But in 22 and 21, only played a combined 54 games. It's tough. It's a tough move. I know there's a lot of, so why did you make this move? I know part of that is because of the limited production and limited statistics from Hummel, as well as the fact that Kyle Lewis kind of became a fan favorite. Kind of became a guy that you
Hmm.
wanted to root for, blowing out his knee in Everett, basically ACL, MCL, LCL, just ripped out, and to be able to come uh, smash a homer off of Trevor Bauer in his first game back in September of 2019 to win the Rookie of the Year 2020 and give us a bunch of memories in that. Um, Even this year, he smashed a couple home runs when he was able to be back there, got hit in the head with a ball, had a concussion. There's several reasons that he became a fan favorite. And, unfortunately, as a fan, a big fan of Kyle Lewis, I think it came down and extends to an availability thing. Jerry DiPoto said that they wanted to get him a fresh start. They know that it's been tough for him, again and again, not been able to really stay healthy. Uh, they said it was tough for them to make that trade, because Kyle Lewis was one of the first guys that DiPoto and that front office actually drafted. So he's kind of been on that track with them. They also liked what Hummel brings offensively, and I know just with the Mariners and what they do, his versatility is what they like as well. Being able to play catcher, being able to play outfield, but it's tough. I can understand the frustration, but it's not as like questionable maybe or mind-boggling to me as some others think. Just because of the fact that whether it's availability, knowing that, with where you're at this season, having come off that playoff appearance and wanting to win and be able to contend, you can't really wait on guys to an extent. And that was a thing that DePoto said is we wanted to have people that were ready now, and we weren't sure about that with him, which that's really tough. It's really tough. So it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, these sports are all businesses, and I still will hope for Kyle with the best. So unfortunate, tough. Do you have any thoughts on that, Bell?
Yeah, I mean, I think that all I can say is it's tough to go from being the rookie of the year to then only playing 54 games in the next 2 seasons. So I understand the hesitancy to keep him, but hopefully his departure works well for the club that he's going to and the Mariners. So
Luckily, they're not division rivals either, so it's not like I have too much of a rooting interest difference. So, we'll look towards some league notes here. As again, it's still the off season, and the free agency is kind of pushing along. It's like a caterpillar, just going slow. On the 17th, it was announced that the 2024 All-Star Game was awarded to the Texas Rangers. The Rangers will host the 2024 Midsummer Classic and accompanying All-Star Week events. I don't like that. Have you seen photos of their ballpark?
mm-mm.
Okay, when you get time, look up the Texas Rangers ballpark. It looks like a giant warehouse. It's horrible. It's terrible. I think I don't know. Texas, I disagree with that. I know that the 2025 game, they're still trying to figure out the host for that, but 2026 will go to Philadelphia. Sure, but Texas, I don't like that ballpark, so I have an opinion on that. With free agency, there's still some big names that are figuring things out, including Aaron Judge. Some news on Judge, which is he's a far shot, but I can have a hope. Okay, I want to win the AL MVP. Said he wants to be on a team with a winning culture and a commitment to winning. The Yankees did make him a new offer. General Manager Brian Cashman announced that the Yankees are waiting on his answer. And the Dodgers, of course, the Dodgers want Aaron Judge, saying that they'll make a run at Judge after shedding $100 million off of their roster. I don't think they'll be able to make it work. But it's, I've seen crazier things happen before. So that'll be an interesting saga to follow, as well as where the top four shortstop on this market all end up. But as Jerry DiPoto said, that this is probably going to inch along. We probably won't hear too much this week as it's Thanksgiving week. We'll pick up probably after that as we get closer to the December general manager meeting. So we'll keep an eye on that.